In Obi-Wan Kenobi, Disney takes a bold step back into the prequelverse, the world conjured by George Lucas for the first 3 episodes in the Star Wars genealogy, adding a wealth of lore to the Jedi, the Empire, and Obi-Wan's ill-fated Padawan, Anakin Skywalker. Obi-Wan Kenobi follows on a decade after the events of Star Wars, The Revenge of the Sith. Here we find a dejected and careworn Obi-Wan, played by the returning Ewan McGregor, living with his mistakes and subsequent renouncement of the Jedi path. He lives a life of asceticism, seeking redemption in his distant protection of a young Luke Skywalker on the backwoods planet of Tatooine. However, when the Inquisitorius and their deadly third sister, Reva Savander, Moses Ingram, kidnap a young Princess Leia, Obi-Wan has no choice but to end his penitence and defend those he swore to protect. Image Engine joined the fight to deliver 364 shots across this new adventure, ranging from planetscapes to lightsaber-wielding acrobatics. With experience on both The Mandalorian Seasons 1 and 2 and the Book of Boba Fett Season 1, the team was primed and ready to go. Image Engine delivered several sequences on the barren and mountainous Mapuzo. It was Andy and the team's task to give the sun-scorched and mountainous planet that Star Wars feel. One of Image Engine's first sequences in the episode captures Obi-Wan and Leia's craft touching down on the planet. The first 3 shots of the landing sequence are full CG and beautifully capture the scale of the environment, with the spacecraft starkly defined against a jaw-droppingly panoramic Mapuzo background. The ship gradually settles on a mesa among a scattering of buildings, sending plumes of gray dust rolling off the edge of the precipice. Most Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 3 was shot on location in California, so some shots required extensions rather than full CG creations. The landscapes were a combination of litter, photogrammetry, and hand-sculpted topography, says Andy. We built a whole kit of Star Wars parts for these extensions, plants, rocks, and mountains, which we reused throughout several shots. We used Houdini extensively to procedurally lay out the windy plants and Joshua trees. The matte painting department also had a great time creating several bespoke Bolivian-like mountain vistas. The team's work helped to sell the scale of Mapuzo in relation to Obi-Wan and Leia. To shorten their journey across Mapuzo, Obi-Wan and Leia must hitchhike on a transport rover piloted by an alien named Freck, an alien who, unfortunately, happens to consort with the Empire's planetside stormtroopers. Obi-Wan and Leia come under threat when the troopers take an interest, questioning the pair as the arid Mapuzo background flashes past behind. Freddie adds that the quality levels delivered by upstream creative departments helped ease the sequence's production. The level of detail provided by the CG and matte painting environment work was amazing and made it much easier for the compositing team to extend and blend any blue screens seamlessly, he says. In addition, the dust elements provided by the FX team were super useful in adding layers of depth and realism to our set extensions. When filming the scene on set, Moses Ingram held a lightsaber stand-in, a practical light stick that produced interactive lighting. On the day of filming, the blast door was opened a small amount to allow the light stick access, and practical smoke and sparks were used. We augmented this scene in post by closing the blast door tight, replacing large parts of the door, and adding in the red Holt melting metal, says Andy.